Hey everyone, it's Book of Katherine. So I want to talk about something that I found today. So it is exactly 5 o'clock on October 6th, 2020. And I was doing some research and I found something very, very odd. Let me go ahead and get this for you. So I found numerous news stories. I was looking up dead fish in Beirut that I found. And those stories have been wiped off and replaced with numerous news stories in America. And I'm sure... Let's go ahead and look at where these news stories are. Every single news story you see here is happening in another place. They're all dead fish washing ashore, and they're all happening in another place in America. Every single shore in America has thousands of fish falling ashore, and then it's followed up with a COVID-19 warning. It's very interesting. Now, I want to talk about why that's interesting. Now, and the kind of dead fish that are washing up. It's not just fish. There are squid. There are dolphins. It's every kind. So this one, for example, Biscayne Bay, in Ash Cove, October 2nd, 2020. So let's go ahead and look at the dates. This is Biscayne Bay on August 1st, 2020. Say this is dead fish washed ashore August 12th, 2020. About starting October 2nd. Jacksonville's weather. Dead fish walked ashore on Jacksonville Beach. This one's June 3rd. What is that? I can't read it. Where is it? Yep, June 3rd, 2019. Dolphins are dying at an alarming rate along the Gulf Coast. This is May 21st, 2020. That one has 4 different states along the Gulf Coast losing dolphins at 3 times the rate in history. This is thousands of dead fish on August 5th, 2019. This is hundreds of dead fish on Old Orchard Beach. This is on August 31st, 2018. That's in Maine. Now, this is something interesting to note. That's Maine, and right below it is Alaska. If anyone knows their geography, they know that Maine is all the way on the East Coast, the northern East Coast, and Alaska is all the way on the West Coast, the northernmost point of the West Coast, and I'll show you that in a second. Here, this is totally, that's the one fish, non-fish story. Keep on going up. So another one, dead starfish, not fish, dead starfish, washing ashore in Alabama. That's our southern shores. Then thousands of dead fish went ashore in ruined couple's wedding. This one is dead fish on June 8th, 2018. And this one is, look at that, September 26th, 2020. That is right just a few days ago from, boom, October 6th, 2020. So we are talking from June 8th, 2018 to just a few days ago in September 26th, 2020. We are talking mass numbers of starfish, dolphins, every kind of fish washing ashore in America. And what we know is this has already been happening all around the world for centuries now. We know that this has been happening because there are huge chemical and plastic spills in other parts of the world. America is the cleanest water ever. Here, I'll show you this just a moment. So this is what's called the garbage patch. This is very, very important to see, all right? So the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And the reason they have that is because America's over here, right there. We have, the United Nations has given us the most strict guidelines to suppress our economy. So America over here has the most highest restrictions and has for the last 30 years on everything industry related. You won't see anyone mining our mines. You won't see anyone drilling our oil. Nothing's been happening over there. So what happened is over here, where the majority of people live in the world, America only has 300 million people. That's it, 300 million people. 2 billion people live here in China. 2 billion people live here in India. 2 billion people live here in Europe. 2 billion people live here in Africa. Do you get my drift? Like, everyone in the world lives here, and the United Nations didn't give any of these people, especially Japan. Japan has the third highest wharf pollution in the world. That's why their lovely nuclear plant went bust, and they're like, hey, can we dump the nuclear waste in the ocean, please? Yes, we're just going to go ahead and do it. We don't care what the rest of you say. Their rate, they just dump their plastic. Have you guys seen Japan's plastic rate? Their ocean around them is just lined with plastic. They just dump their plastic in the ocean. They don't care. They're so protected. Everyone just watches their anime, does their karaoke. The United Nations is in their back pocket. Same thing with India, same thing with China, the CCP. These people are set. These guys just run the United Nations and run the world, and our Congress is over here. Both the GOP and the DNC just serve the United Nations over here in Europe. Underneath Italy and everything in this lovely little, I always call this like the dragon, right? And then Russia's over here kind of like sitting off on the side. I don't really know what's happening over in Russia. They just kind of seem separated from everything. I don't know. That's a whole separate thing. They have pollution in Russia. I don't know that they're dumping. These guys are dumping 400 million tons of garbage into the ocean. Plastic and everything from the stuff we're buying over here. We're buying Chanel bags. We're buying sneakers. What was it? One person, like, what was it? Bibi Hadid or whatever, Bella Hadid. She bought with her on one Paris trip, they said in the magazines, 12 pairs of Nike Airs or whatever, which is ridiculous, which somebody in a labor camp over here in China had to build, and it poured tons of smoke, enough smoke into the atmosphere to pull off our entire jet stream and kill off our earth and kill off the plants and everything and build what's called garbage patches. These giant garbage patches in the Great Pacific. And this is awful. And so what happens is they've already killed off the barrier reef. Like, the barrier reef is already dying. And the earth already gotten warmer and everything like that. And Germany's over here just saying, ha, 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 everyone grow our corn and make the earth super warm and let the environment pull it off. Every time America grows a corn crop, our entire air system gets warmer and has worse tornadoes. And they know it. And they just keep growing it. No one reports it because, of course, they're the world's billionaires, and Oprah is invested in it. Oprah's invested in Germany. Bill Gates is invested in Germany. All the royals are invested in Germany, and the Pope is invested in Germany. I can't believe it. This summer, the Pope met with all the oil barons, all the energy barons, all the worst people in the world, met with Islam, who has all these women and children enwrapped in mines. And he wouldn't meet with Pompeo. He's like, that would be too political. With our Secretary of State, Pompeo. Right. Anyway, so the fact that makes sense that all of this is dying, if that makes sense. This makes sense that all the plants and animals are dying. This totally makes sense that plants and animals are dying, if you know what I'm saying. Like, that makes sense. The plants and animals are dying here. When they're washing up on shore in America, Maine is over here. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, this is Alaska up here, and this is Maine. So the locations I mentioned to you were Maine, Alaska in the Yukon Territory. There was Alabama down here. I read off something in every single location. That means, folks, it's reached us all. And what does that mean? Does that mean climate change? Well, obviously climate change is happening. But what's doing it all? Why is it just mass? Is it something we can stop? And the only thing I can say is it matches everything we're reading in Revelations. It matches Revelation 16. It says everything in the ocean will die. And it's just been dying. And everyone, they say it. Read the headlines. Read it. I'll show it to you. Just a minute. Okay, so let's say we're reading this one, right? The dolphins are dying at an alarming rate. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on this guy. All right, so here we are. Dolphins, awful dolphins are dying at an alarming rate. CBS News. Okay, so let's go ahead and read down what it says. Dolphins are dying at an alarming rate on the Gulf Coast. No one knows why. They don't say climate change. They say no one knows why. No one wants to say, well, it was predicted. Look at this. Scientists are puzzled by a disturbing trend in the waters along 4 Gulf Coast states. Almost 300 dead and dying dolphins have washed ashore since February, 3 times the usual number. Look at this. June 19th, 2019. That's a year before COVID, folks. That's a year before COVID. And I'm just like, you know what they don't mention? They don't mention all the others, do they? You would think that that's a relevant story. You would think that all of these other stories happening, I didn't even search. That's what's really sick and twisted about this, is I didn't even search. I searched the Beirut fish dying story. This is like this is what they, you want to search for Beirut's dying fish? We're going to show you all America's dying fish. And I'm like, I don't think you wanted me to find all this. I've been digging into Revelations lately. You guys really didn't want me to find all this. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really, really bad. Anyway, I thought you guys would be interested to see all of this. And I hope it really sticks around and you can find it yourselves. So yeah, it's really sad because I don't know. It's really scary. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. But anyway, the chapter is Revelation 16. I'll find it for you. Let's see, I had it open. Let me see it. Hold on. Yep, there it is. I found it. So Revelation 16 in the message. So let's see here. Scroll it down just a little bit. And it says... Where does it say it? Oh, it says it right at the beginning. I was already there. The second angel pulled out his bowl into the sea. The sea coagulated into blood, and everything in it died. Well, that sounds like blood. All the plastic they're dumping into it. The second angel poured its bowl into the sea, and the sea coagulated in blood, and everything in it died. The third angel pulled his blood into rivers and springs. The waters turned to blood. I heard the angel of waters say, "Righteous are you, and your judgments are righteous." This is, what is that? This is the was the holy. Is that what it says? This is the was the holy. They poured out the blood of saints and prophets, so you've given them blood to drink. They've gotten what they deserve. Huh. I guess they're talking about Babylon. I guess they're talking about Beirut. I guess it's cutting into the trade. I didn't think about that. This is really cutting into trade. There is a video. I'll show it to you. Okay, this video's in New Jersey. Watch this one.
This is horrible. Oh, it's such a bad smell. It's a really, really nasty smell.
Countless dead bunker continue to line the shores of Shark River.
It's kind of like living in a fish market.
Maybe a bad fish market.
So far, the Neptune Township Public Works crew has collected and disposed of 5.5 tons of the dead fish.
Okay.
It's a monster.
Like, I didn't think about that before until I read that verse. Like, until I read this. Like, they poured out the blood of saints and prophets. Like, cutting off people's heads and stuff like that. So you've given them blood to drink. They've gotten what they deserve. That must be what this is. Like, cutting off 5 tons of fish. Like, this is in New Jersey. This is in the ports. Like, this is the Catholic towns. These are all the Catholic ports and stuff where the Lady Asheroth sits above and watches. So it's true, like, you don't see any Protestants that get to trade anymore, do you? Protestants aren't allowed to trade. Protestants are all in jail by the cops, aren't they? Yeah, you won't see any of them having businesses anymore. They're all cut out, aren't they? So
mental task. We're doing the best we can, but it's like removing water out of a pool with an eyedropper.
Which is why inmates from the Monmouth County Correctional Institution are helping a few towns clean up the dead fish through Sheriff Sean Golden's inmate labor program.
We have a few teams of inmates that go around the county and assist in cleaning parks, cleaning up beaches. They're used to the work.
Isn't that terrible? They're used to the work. And I actually found a verse from when we were doing our digs that Jesus actually said he called the prisoners part of the poor, that his followers were supposed to serve the prisoners, that they were part of the poor, like woe to those who are prisoners. And you can see why. They're jailed servants. Like, the traders use them. They use them as free. This is forced labor. You understand that. They're used to the work. This is free labor. They're using them as free labor. The taxpayers aren't paying for this. And who do you think they're doing work for? Businesses, right? Do you think they always do it for the public? This is awful. This is terrible. Prisoners, do you think they have a choice to do this? Prisoners should not be forced into labor like this.
Great way for them to give back to the communities.
No, that's not a great way for them to give back to the community. Are you kidding me?
A Department of Environmental Protection spokesperson tells NJTV News the fish kill is a natural occurrence. A huge amount of bunker came in.
And they keep saying that. It's a natural occurrence. They can't tell us why. When in history have you seen thousands of fish? Wait till you hear what they say about it.
From the Atlantic Ocean into Shark River, especially into the shallow estuary portion. They outstripped the oxygen supply. Water testing indicates no sign of a chemical imbalance or algae bloom. Although the DEP says there's no sign of disease, the pathologist is still getting test results back. While the agency can't...
If it's a natural thing, why are they testing everything? Does that make sense? If it's so natural, why are they testing it all?
Can't give an exact number. Officials suspect tens of thousands of bunker perished.
There's so many fish in the water, it's like looking at the stars in the sky at night.
That really got to me. There's so many fish in the water, it's like looking at the stars in the night, you guys. That is some sick stuff right there. That's apocalyptic stuff. Like, everywhere I turn, it's apocalypse stuff, man.
Members of the Shark River Beach and Yacht Club are literally surrounded by floating dead bunker. The club is responsible for cleaning up the fish in their marina, and they wonder how they'll do it.
This is a little bit too much for a few members to pick up fish.
The biggest problem...
How much you want to bet they're going to use the prisoners? How much you bet the club is going to use the prisoners, right? Free labor, right?
The problem at this point is as soon as the beach is clean, the wind and tide wash thousands more fish onto the shore. The Neptune Township Department of Public Works plans to work through the weekend, and local officials hope volunteer organizations will help join the cleanup effort.
We have cleaned this beach 4 or 5 times at least.
As fast as they clean it up, it seems like it's back down here.
Primarily, the DEP has made a determination that this is a local issue. However, we made a request to the DEP through the County Office of Emergency Management for a boat that they use that will assist us in trying to get the fish from the top of the water before they hit the shorelines. It's a weed harvesting boat that they use in the lakes generally.
Neptune Town.
Oh yeah, this is a naturally occurring thing, except we don't have any of the things required to handle it. It's killing our community. As fast as we clean it off, we can't get it all. Yeah, this is naturally occurring though.
Ship officials are hopeful they'll get the weed harvesting boat tomorrow. Meantime, inmates and crews will continue to scoop up the bunker along the shores.
Louise.
In Shark River Hills, I'm Lauren Wonko, NJTV News.
Jeez Louise, New Jersey's so corrupt. And it's Catholic. Run by Germany. Run by the Pope. And so, I'll say it again, we're learning. You know, this is the holy. They poured out the blood of the saints and the prophets. We have learned that the Pope did what in the Crusades? 50 million Christians dead. 50 million. Right? We learned that the Pope runs the whole. They've been united with Islam. Oh, and what did we just find out today, everybody? Today, everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. What's at the center? Right there. Center of Pope in Rome. What is that? St. Peter's Basilica. What is that lovely thing that we were trying to figure out that looked like Satan's throne or whatever? It's so dark and everything. We were like, what the hell? If everyone that was Catholic knew what they were donating to, this is the altar at the center of St. Peter's Basilica when you see the Vatican in Rome. This is the heart. This is the altar. This is literally at the center of the Catholic Church. This is the throne. This is where they do all the altar, where they do all the services, the Christmas service, the Easter service. Every single service they ever do in the Vatican, in Rome, it's done underneath this big frickin' thing. And do you know what I finally found out it's based on? Dun, 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 dun. The spiral bronze column derives their shapes from columns of the temple in Jerusalem, which legend how it came from Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. It's not legend. It's not legend that it came from Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. Do you know why I know that? It's not legend. I will tell you why I know that. Just one moment. That's because these are the columns, right? See them? Lovely columns. Big, twisty, twisty, twisty columns. And guess what Solomon's temple looks like? I will show you. This is the Catholic temple. Catholic in Rome. Big, big, big. And boom. This is Mr. Pompey himself of Rome. Yeah, Pompey. The guy that had the Mount Vesuvius come down and... Yeah, Pompey. This is Pompey of Rome coming into Jerusalem and claiming Jerusalem for Rome. This is how Rome got Jerusalem, was by Pompey the Great. After Julius Caesar, before Julius Caesar, there was Pompey the Great. He came in and was like, I want Jerusalem, I want Israel. So he came in and took Solomon's temple. This is a painting of it. And what's in the middle of Solomon's temple? Uh-oh, Taz is calling, I better go. But look at what that is. This is in the middle of Solomon's temple. Dun, 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 dun. Looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Wow, Taz is really screaming, I better go. I wonder outside. You know what else is very interesting? In the very center of Solomon's temple is those very, very funky hats again. With the big C shape. That's what, isn't, see? And that's what they're dressed like. All the Pope priests today are dressed just like the rabbis of the old temple. So when I say that I think that the Catholic Church is run just like Judaism, I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking that it is, since the columns at the center of the Catholic Church are exactly like the columns at the center of Solomon's temple. Fascinating. All right, well, there you go. A lot of history. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Donate down below. $1 a month. Keeps me going. Love you guys. Bye.